Hey everybody. So the topic of playing safety or just going for it. That's what I want to take a look at in this video. So this is a match that I played with Andrew from Yaworski Pool Practice. And you know, when you're playing someone like Andrew, you cannot take them lightly. So they're just going to run your ass out if you take them lightly. So I don't want to sell the farm. So let's take a look at what he's left me here, okay? So take a look where the cue ball is. I'm going to have to hit off of the rail here, all right? And the object ball, the 5 ball, it's about a diamond off. So that's about 8 feet. Now, what would you do in this situation here? Do I have the cut to the corner? Yes, I have the cut in the corner. And, you know, if I go for that shot, I'm going to have to hit it relatively hard. I think the shape might be relatively natural. It might come off the end rail, cue ball all the way back to almost actually where I'm hitting from. I'll have to watch the scratch, but the cut is there. But how high of a percentage do I have making that shot? I view that as a low percentage shot. In all likelihood, I'm just going to leave that 5 ball in the jaws and Andrew is going to beat me. He's going to run out. So I decide right at this moment that I'm going to be playing safe. Now, what are the things that I have to think about here, right? Would a professional say, you know what, I'm going to lock him up tight. I'm going to hit that 5 ball down to the other side of the table where I'm hitting from right now. And I'm going to try to roll that cue ball up and freeze it to the 8. Some pros might try to attempt that. In my head, I'm thinking, you know what? Worst case scenario, at a minimum, I need to make sure that he's hooked. So the two things that I'm thinking about in this situation is I want to get that 5 ball down to the other end of the table and I want that cue ball behind the 8, basically in between the cue ball and the 5, okay? The other thing that I'm thinking about is I don't want to leave the 5 ball too close to that corner because obviously the probability of Andrew sinking that 5 goes up drastically if I leave it right over the pocket. So let's see what ends up happening here. Nice smooth stroke. I ensure that I get the hook and the 5 ball stops about a diamond and a half up from the corner. I'm really happy with this. Andrew takes a look and he goes immediately to his jump cue. So right now I'm thinking, you know what? Andrew's going to hit this 5 ball, right? He's good enough that he's going to hit this 5 ball, but most players in the world, I think, actually sinking the 5 ball, that is something entirely different. So, and even if he did sink the 5 ball, okay, look where the 7 ball is on the rail, okay? What's he going to have if he sinks this 5 ball? A bank 7? Is that 9 ball in the way in the bank? I'm looking good here. I think I'm looking good. So let's see if he makes the hit. Sure enough, he makes the hit, but look what's happened. It's kicked back and ooh, look at that 5 ball freeze to the rail. Anyone who's been following me on YouTube knows that I love the frozen bank shot now after all those frozen bank shot videos I made. So my plan is to hit the 5, come down to the other end of the table and get underneath that 7. When I hit it though, the cue ball comes relatively flat off of that side rail and I almost hooked myself behind the 10 ball. So at this point, what do? I could play safe again. So I'm taking a look right now and thinking, okay, that is a relatively hard safety in my eyes. If I'm going to hit that 7 ball and try to leave it at the other end and then try to juice that cue ball back behind the 10 ball, I think it's a whole lot harder than the safety I played at the very beginning of this sequence. So let's take a look about making the 7 ball. And right away I say, you know what? This is much higher of a probability of me making this than the other shot, the shot on the 5 at the beginning. So I basically decide, okay, there's a few things I need to think here. I need to hit it in the heart. I need to stroke this. I definitely don't want to decelerate through this shot because look, I just pot this 7 ball. I do not have to do anything special with the cue ball, no juice whatsoever. just don't decelerate through this stroke. And I have natural shape on the 8. So I decide I'm going for it. Ooh, and I hit it in the heart. From here, I am ecstatic where my positioning is. From here, it should be easy 2-rail shape to come down for that 9. I'm going to control the speed of the cue ball by coming into those 2 rails. Not just 1 rail, 2 rails. And I'm happy with that shot too. I've got the right angle to just put a little bit of bottom stun to come over to that side rail for shape on that 10 ball. Let's see how I do. I like. So this is an example of, you know, the thought process that I'm going through when I play a game like this. Okay, I'm playing a very, very good player who is going to punish me if I take him lightly. If I give him an open table, he's going to get out. So I have to play it tough and I have to play it smart. And I'm curious with you guys watching this and hearing my thought process. What do you think? Would you have done it differently? Would you have gone for that first shot? Would you have played a different safety? Would you have played a safety on the 7 ball? Also, I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are. This was my thought process, but you know, it's just important to remember that, you know, don't be afraid to play safe, because selling the farm is never desired. And I guess that's just basically the simple lesson in this video is don't be afraid to play safe. It's part of the game. It's a fun part of the game if you get really good at it, because you can make your opponents suffer. Thanks for watching, guys.